We're starting off laying down, so give yourself some time just to settle into the floor. Really, no pressure on yourself to do anything, but just be still for a moment. So maybe spread out your shoulder blades a little bit, get comfortable. I like to take the back and actively spread it out. Allow the palms to flip up. Allow your feet to flop out. And then perhaps you, like me, get a little tense across your chest during the day, okay? If that happens to you, try this. Try scooping your shoulder blades way down underneath your heart, kind of using that scoop shape of your shoulder blades to lift and dome your chest up and open. Okay, hopefully that feels nice and spacious and gives you some space to let go. And just taking some time here, we'll spend a few minutes just breathing deeply, expanding the chest, expanding the belly. And begin to use your fullest inhale, drawing in as much breath as you can. And of course, pair that with your deepest exhale. Using your strong belly muscles, your strong muscles in your rib cage to pull inward and compress the air out. Again, inhaling, taking in as much air. See if you could pause at the top and even take in a little bit more. And then completely let it all go. Let it all out. Maybe pause at the bottom. Let out a little more. So take some time just breathing here, finding those complete breaths. So take a few more rounds. You're just breathing deeply here. You're just cultivating extra space across the belly muscles, extra space across the ribs and the back. But I also want you to really tune into the strength, okay, in your torso. Those belly muscles make like a basket weave. There's fibers that run top to bottom over your belly, side to side, and of course, diagonally. So use them all on the exhales, drawing the belly button down toward the ground. Starting to activate your core with your breath here. Draw the belly button down on the exhales. Feel your whole belly get strong. Okay, maybe a few more breaths just like this. Feeling tension just melt out of your body. It's always so nice to start out moving with just being still for a little while and finding your breath. Okay, let's add a little bit of movement. Let's keep that focus on that long, slow, beautiful breath. Okay, using the belly muscles and the chest and rib muscles to inflate and deflate. Okay, bring your knees to a bend. So bend your knees, step your feet up closer by your hips. And then let's take the feet a little bit wider. So I like to take them all the way off my mat, but you'll decide what feels better for you. Obviously, the further out you take them, the more movement you'll feel in your hips. So you decide. And then this is very nicely paired in the upper body with some cactus arms. So you can make some nice cactuses with your arms, flip those palms up, feel your chest is nice and broad, and your upper body is very grounded on the floor, okay? So try to keep that upper body really stable and strong, and just start to drop your knees side to side, okay? like a windshield wipers movement. Pointing the knees to one side and the other, nice and slow. Remember to keep breathing here. And we're just going to slowly start to wake up the hips with some gentle movement. So really focusing on that beautiful internal and then external rotation in each hip here. You can feel that rotation. And so we're getting a great massage all around each hip. Okay, notice also we get a great massage for the glutes as we kind of roll over them, using the floor to our advantage. And then one more thing you might notice is a really nice twisting feeling in your low back, and just enjoy that. You might get some little pops and adjustments, and this will realign your spine a little bit, so be prepared. Okay, feels nice. Let's take that twist further up the spine and just keep that goodness, that twisting goodness going. So next time your knees point up, just pause them there and just pick your feet up. Feet up off the ground, glue your knees together and make one solid leg. So your two legs are now glued together. Keep them like that. And keep your cactus arms too. Push down into the floor with your upper body here. Think of as if you're trying to lift your heart up toward the ceiling, and then see if you could allow your legs to hover out to one side. Now just to hover, keep your upper body pushing down and grounded. Let's bring the knees through center and hover them on the other side. Keep pushing down with your upper body. So let's do a few more side to side like that. Maybe you try exhaling on the twist and inhaling through center. Nice and slow. Exhale, twist. And inhale, center. So you can make this a very small movement and just barely hover the knees out to the side. Or you can choose to, especially as you warm up, you could choose to hover the knees just off the ground. So keep going, keep twisting, massaging and warming your whole spine and back, torso and belly. Okay, now maybe you start to really deepen this twist and look directly away from your knees when you twist, so that it goes all the way up into your neck, all the way to the base of your skull. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Now let's do maybe one more on each side. Nice and slow. One more. And then bring it back into center with those legs. Go ahead and grab behind your knees. Okay, so we warmed up your whole spine. Now I'd like to get a little bit more into the core. So challenge is ahead. Feel free to modify if it's too much challenge. Okay, always listening to your body. Tuck your hands behind your knees here, and then we're gonna playfully rock up. You can use your toes to balance at the top if you like, and then roll down just as playfully, knowing that it's gonna be silly. Let's do it a few more times. Silly up. You can balance on your tippy toes and roll it down. Now I want you to kind of enjoy it, get into it. You can take your knees wide if you like, and just enjoy the back rolling on the floor, the balancing on the way up. And now I'm gonna add a further challenge here. I'm gonna challenge you to balance without your toes at the top, coming up into a boat pose, okay, boat pose. Now keep in mind, you can choose not to accept that challenge and put the toes down, okay? I'm gonna give you one more and challenge you to do it with your hands free, reaching forward past your knees. Okay, accept the challenge or not. And now, here we go. Come on up and see if you could just balance up there, wherever you are, with or without your toes down or your hands down or anything like that, in your boat pose. We're just gonna be here and breathe for a little while. So make your longest spine, like the top of your head is getting lifted away from the floor. Pull your belly in and point that tailbone at your toes and breathe. Okay, toes down is an option. Hands down is even an option. But no matter what, you've got that same right angle with your body between your femur and your spine. Breathing here in your boat pose. Here's a further challenge, okay? Core challenge, so feel free to drop your feet or hands at any time. What about rolling down to your low back from here? Just down to your low back, keeping your head and shoulders lifted. And then see if you could roll it back up to a boat. Whew, it's challenging. Let's do it a few more times. Inhale, rolling down to the half boat. Exhale, rolling up to the boat with control. So let's do that maybe 4 or more times, something like that. You could do this with your feet on the floor, okay? And you can even do it grabbing your knees. So let's see. 2 more from here. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Now come on up, hold your boat. That's right, we're still in the boat. So feel free to drop those toes at any time. Take your fingers out in front of you, okay? Like you're resting them on a table that's just about shoulder height. Nice and soft in your shoulders. And go ahead and look over your right shoulder. Look behind you. Come on back to center. Now look over the left shoulder. Come on back to center. Now we're gonna keep moving and breathing. Now I want you to find the challenge level that suits you best. With your feet down, this is more gentle. So feel free to go there. With your feet up, more challenging. Okay, now wherever you are, next time you turn to one side, just hold it right there. Hold and breathe, looking over your shoulder. Lengthen your spine again. Strengthen your belly inward again. Perhaps open your arms. That's right, like you're giving someone a weird hug to the side. Whew, challenging for the core. Take your time coming through center over to the other side. And of course, feel free to drop those feet at any time. Very nice. 1 more big breath here, holding your twisted boat, challenging your core and your shoulders. And then calmly, skillfully back through center. You can drop your feet if they were up. Whew, go ahead and round forward over your knees. Nice work. Okay, I'm hoping you felt a little challenge in your core and your abs. One of the #1 things we can do for the low back, okay, especially because we're sitting a lot these days, we're doing a lot of repetitive movements. We need to strengthen the abs in front so the low back can let go and relax. Okay, all right, team, we're gonna point the knees out to one side. We're gonna flip it over to hands and knees. So take your time, nice tabletop position. Spread your fingers really wide, okay, lots of space between them, and grab the mat like you mean it. Push it away from you, lift your belly nice and high, okay? So I like to remind myself here to stay active in the upper body. Sometimes it's tempting to kind of sink down into your shoulders when you're here, but do push the floor away and make your long neck. Let's stick the right leg out behind. Go ahead and send it out away from you and do your best to rock the right hip under so that you know it's internally rotating, okay? And the right toes point down. And spread those right fingers really wide. Could you rock some extra weight into the right hand and reach forward with the left hand? Hold and breathe here. Reaching out in a bird dog position. Now at any time you could drop your left hand and just do the leg, okay? If you needed less challenge here, okay? But if you're doing all right, we're gonna go ahead and move a little bit. So inhaling, reach out long through the lifted arm and leg, as long as you can get, a little longer. And then exhale, pull the knee, the right knee and the left elbow inward. See if you could bring your nose in there too. Nice little crunch shape. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull it in, crunch it. Again, inhale, reach it. And exhale, crunch it. Let's do it 1 more time and then we're gonna hold it. Reach and then crunch it in. Now hold and breathe. I'm gonna hold you right here. We're just gonna enjoy this, build some heat. So option for easiness, you can drop the left hand and just do 2 hands down. Now, if you want extra spice, you want to add challenge, you're going to bend your left knee. That's your grounded knee. That's right. And you're going to point that left toe up at the ceiling. And you know what? It's okay if you follow the floor is right there. Hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Let that shape go. If you want here, tuck your toes. Of course, only if it's comfortable. Sit back on those heels. And we're going to do some wrist stretching after that. So palms face the ceiling, and then point them back at your knees and just peel them all the way down to the floor. We can peel them up and down a few times. Really taking care of the wrists here. We really work them hard, and it's good to give them some love. Okay, flip your hand over so the palm is up a few times, rolling around on it. Okay. Little wrist care. Okay, so we're coming back to hands and knees from here. Find that nice tabletop position. Push the floor away, strong in your arms, strong in your belly, actively lifting. And now stick the left leg out behind. Spread the left fingers wide and push into that hand, right fingers forward. Hold and breathe. Stabilize first. Okay, lifting that strong belly up. Using your strong back to raise that heavy arm and leg. So we're going to start to move the same way we did on the other side. Inhaling, reach long as you can. Exhaling, pull the right elbow and the left knee in. Pull everything up. Inhale, reach long as you can be. Exhale, pull it in. Again, reach. And crunch. So you could do this with 2 hands down, okay? That would be a little more gentle. Now, next time you pull into that crunch, hold it and breathe. 2 hands down is your gentle option. Remember your spicy option here, that funky balance, okay? Bend the right knee. That's your balancing knee. And then point the toe at the ceiling. You know what? If it doesn't work, try it 7 times. You can never try it too many times. But just hold wherever you are for 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Okay, again, we're going to sit back on the heels here and do another wrist stretch, another round. Okay, flip the palms up and down. Give it a nice stretch out. Okay, we're a little bit warm here. Warm in the core, shoulders. Okay, let's get a little bit warmer in the legs. So come on back to hands and knees. You can take those hands back to normal. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips up. Let's make a downward facing dog shape and just walk it out here for a moment. Just kind of hang in your head. Shake it, yes. And no. Okay, and then I like to make this first down dog of the day kind of a really moving one. So really move your legs a lot. Really lift your heels and lower them. Wag your tail from side to side. And let's get some shoulder movement in there too. Bending the elbows, moving around in the shoulders. Just all the places you can take it. This is a good time to notice how your body is even feeling. You're going to notice tension in the backs of your legs if it's there, okay? Your calves, your hamstrings, you'll notice them here. You'll notice if your chest feels tight, where you feel like your spine is rounding, and that's okay. Just notice. We don't have to fix anything right now. We're just hanging out and noticing what is. So from your downward facing dog shape, we're going to start to move and flow a little bit with the breath. I want to encourage you anytime to take a break on hands and knees, to modify any way that feels right, and just listen to your body. I'm going to offer you a lot of options. Okay, from here, let's start to move. So take a big breath in, move your heart forward and find a momentary plank position. Now remember that a plank can always be knees down or knees up. It's still a plank as long as your shoulders are over your wrists. So plank means shoulders over wrists, knees up or down. Go ahead here, walk to your hands and find a nice little fold where you can just bend your knees and hang. Hang your head and shake it out. Okay, I like to really bend the knees here so that your upper body is just hanging so low that you feel like your spine is in complete traction. And indeed it is. And go ahead and enjoy that nice feeling in your back. You might even want to grab your elbows here and kind of sway and get some nice stretches in your back. Okay, we're gonna roll up. So from here, find a little bit of stillness, release those elbows if you grabbed them, and press down into your heels, roll yourself up high. Okay, feels nice to take a big breath in as you reach up. Think of lifting your chest. With your exhale, sit your hips nice and low, okay? You can bend your knees here. Think about pointing your knees out over your toes and looking up at your hands maybe to keep your spine long. Inhale all the way up to standing. And with your exhale, think of hinging at your hips. You might bend your knees or not, okay? But you're gonna hinge those hips and come all the way down. Okay, palms are on the floor here. Let's step back to that plank. So walk your feet back to plank. Remember, shoulders over wrists. Okay, you can drop the knees or not. And then you're gonna lower yourself all the way down. See if you could pull your elbows in and squeeze them into your ribs. So we're just building a little flow here. You can probably tell, and we're gonna repeat it a few times. So just keep following, I'll cue you. So take a little back bend here, a little cobra. Think of pulling back on your hands, peeling your heart up and open. Okay, and it can always be very small, okay, or very dramatic. It's up to you. Then let your heart come back to the floor. Tuck your toes here. You can come up through hands and knees or through a plank. And I'll meet you in another downward facing dog. So come on up and back. So that's a little flow. We're gonna run through it a couple more times. Okay. Just getting your body moving, getting all your joints involved. Feel free to make those modifications and make up new things and just have a good time. Here we go, maybe a slight bit quicker. Inhaling forward, find your plank. Use the knees liberally, strong shoulders. With your exhale, walk to your hands and fold. Bend those knees and hang. Inhale here, roll yourself up tall, push down into your heels. Lift your big heart. Exhale, drop into your chair squat. Tailbone down, knees point over toes. Long spine. Inhale to stand, heart up. Exhale, hinging at your hips, fold it all the way down. Okay, should be a little familiar. Palms down, inhaling back to your plank. You can use your knees or not, okay? Exhaling all the way down. Pull your elbows close by your ribs, like you want to just scrape your ribs with them. A little cobra shape here. Inhaling, pull that big heart up and open. Pull, pull, pull back on your hands. And exhale, push yourself up and back. Find that down dog again, so I'll meet you up there. Okay, I'd like to do that 2 more times. You ready? This one maybe we'll do a little more, slightly quicker, not much. Inhaling here, find your plank. Exhaling, walk to your hands and fold. Nice long spine. Inhale, roll yourself up. Push into your heels. Exhale, drop into your chair squat. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, hinging, folding all the way down. Inhaling, step back into your plank. Exhaling, elbows in, come all the way down. With control and skill, inhale, cobra, heart open, pull back on your hands. And with your exhale, tuck your toes, come on up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, joints are feeling warm, the legs are feeling warm. It's okay if you get mixed up in the flow. What's important is you're just breathing and moving. We're gonna do it one more time, okay? And then we're gonna move on. So here we go. Inhaling here, find your plank, heart forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhaling here, walk to your hands and fold. Nice long spine. Inhale, roll yourself up and open. Heart up. Exhale, down into your chair squat. Nice knees over toes, looking up. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hinge and fold in half. Palms are down here. Inhale, step back into your plank. With or without those knees, exhale all the way down. Inhale for that little cobra shape. Pull back on your hands. And exhale for your down dog shape. We did it. Come on up and back. Take a few breaths here. Now this would be a great time to take a little hands and knees or child's pose break if you needed one. Okay, but if you're really enjoying the down dog, now that you're warm, go ahead and stay here. But we're gonna take 5 or 6 breaths wherever you are, okay? If you are in child's pose and hands and knees, just do whatever feels nice. Take that rest. If you're in your down dog, think of starting to push into your hands, pushing into your feet, lifting your belly. Okay, think of lifting the center of your palm and the center of each foot. Okay, like a little, almost a little suction in your hands and feet. And we'll start to move from here, starting to get a little more lungy. So come on forward to a lunge, sending your right foot forward by your right hand. And it's okay if it takes a few steps to get it up there. Take your time. We're going to drop the back knee and find a low lunge. So you can even come up on your fingertips here. Give yourself a lot of space. And just take your time arranging your left knee where you need it. Put a blanket under it if it feels tender, all that kind of stuff. You have time. Okay, when you feel pretty comfortable here, drop a little bit more into your left hand and go ahead and reach up with your right. And we'll add a little twist to this lunge. And let's hold and breathe right here. All right, a very nice twisty lunge. If it's ever too much, you can always drop down out of it. Okay, but put a little activity in your legs as if each leg wanted to push against the floor. Okay, and then we're just gonna hold and take a few breaths right here. Push the floor down slightly and just look wherever feels comfortable. So from here, I want to start to move a little bit. Okay, now that you've settled in a little bit, make a nice strong bottom shoulder. So that left shoulder is active. You're actively bending the elbow, pushing the floor away. And then take a big breath in here. Really peel open your chest. See if you could open that right arm even wider. And with your exhale, send that right hand all the way under the left arm. Like you're reaching through. You can even bend the left arm here and reach a little further, just as far as you want to go. Let's do that again. Okay, inhaling, reach up long through that right hand. Peel open your chest. Remember, keep the bottom shoulder active. Okay, keep it safe. Exhale, reach under the left arm again, far as you want to go. Okay, feels nice in that right hip. It's a nice stretch. Let's do it maybe 2 more times. Reach up and reach under. Nice, one more time, reaching up and then hold. Next time you reach up there. Now I wanna give you the option to stay here and just enjoy this twist. and what the lunge is doing in your legs. If you want a little more from your legs here, you're kind of, maybe you're working on strengthening your legs or you're working on range of motion, you might tuck the left toes and lift the left knee, okay? Just lifting that back knee off the floor. But wherever you are, take one more breath in this big twisted lungy shape. And then bring it on down. Drop that back knee if it was up. Drop the top hand. Let's see if we could come back to a down dog from here. So tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step it back to a downward facing dog. Walk it out here, shake your head. Now I'd like to take that same little vinyasa variation that we did before to warm up before we go to the other side. So here goes. See if you can follow along and remember. I bet you can. Inhaling here, find your plank. Exhaling, walk to your hands and fold, just like we did before. Inhale, roll it up. Press into your heels, lift your heart. Exhale, sit down into your chair squat. Lift that big heart. Inhale to stand. Exhale to fold. Palms are down. Inhale back to your plank. Okay, with or without those knees, it's up to you. Yogi's choice. And exhale all the way down, elbows in. Inhale for your cobra shape. Peel open your heart. And exhale for your down dog shape. I'll meet you there. All right, here we are back in down dog. So this is another moment where I'm going to give you the option to do a child's pose break, a hands and knees break, or you stay in down dog. We're going to take 5 breaths here, just being where you are. Okay, child's pose, hands and knees. You're going to just do whatever feels good. Rest. If you're in down dog, really work on aligning and activating the posture. Push the floor actively. If you are one who is working on hamstring flexibility or opening them up, if the hamstrings feel tight, do your best to lift your kneecaps away from the floor, activating your quadriceps. And when we activate the quads, the hamstrings can release a little more. So you can use that to drop the heels, okay? From here, friends, we're gonna go to the other side. So from your downward facing dog shape, swing that right leg forward. Sorry, we're doing the left leg this time. Swing the left leg forward and drop it by your left hand. You can drop your right knee here. And take your time getting comfortable in your low lunge on this side. So up on fingertips is nice. Putting that right knee just right. I like to put it on more of the top edge of the kneecap rather than square on the kneecap. Okay, and then ground into that right hand here. Reach up with your left. Find a twisted lunge. Okay, and breathe right here. Okay, finding some strength in that bottom shoulder. So a lot of times you'll find in postures like this where one arm is down, that shoulder gets a little soft, okay, and it's not supported. But if we really activate the shoulder, push down into that right arm, it's safe that way, okay? And remember to keep your legs active too. And we're gonna start to move this twisted lunge. Inhale, see if you could peel open your left side of your chest even more. And exhale, send that left arm under your right. Reach as far as you can. Stretching open that left hip. Let's do that 3 more times. Okay, inhale, reach it up. And exhale, twist it under. So you're stretching the back body, you're stretching the front. Such a great movement. 2 more. Moving with slow control, never concerned about how many you're doing, of course, just giving you an idea of how many to do. Go ahead and reach up and hold this time, and we'll just enjoy this nice lunge, okay? The twist is really wringing out your spine, recalibrating those muscles and bones. And then if you want a little more from this lunge, maybe some extra work and spice in the legs, perhaps, Strong bottom shoulder, please. You're gonna lift the back knee off the floor. Wherever you are is perfect if you're having a good time. One more breath in your lunge. And then bring it down, back knee comes down if it was up. Top hand comes down. Come on back to down dog. See if you could lift the back knee, swing the front leg forward, swing the front leg back. Whew, and just walk it out here. Okay, so I want to do that same little vinyasa again. Let's go. Inhale, heart moves forward to a plank. Exhale, walk to your hands and fold. Inhale, roll it up, push down into your heels. Maybe add in a tiny back bend here. We're nice and warm. Exhale, down into your chair, squat. Drop the tailbone. Inhale all the way up. Maybe add that little back bend here. Exhale all the way down. Palms are down. Inhale to your plank. And exhale slowly down. Inhale for your cobra. Pull that heart open. And exhale. Come on up. Downward facing dog. Now this is going to be our last downward facing dog. I just want you to feel the difference. So come on up. And of course, you're always going to replace down dog with hands and knees if you need to. Hands and knees is a fantastic place to be. Okay, or even child's pose. But if you're in your down dog, push the floor and notice how different your shoulders and your hips and your arms and your legs feel from when we started doing this down dog stuff just a few minutes ago, it seems. Okay, a lot of nice change in the legs, a lot of nice warmth. From here, walk to your hands just one more time and just take a moment to really hang and fold. You can hug your legs. Okay, give them a nice squeeze, waggle your hips. Okay, nice extra space in the back body as you just breathe into it. From here, you can bend your knees and put your fingers down until you come to a seat. So come on down. Shake your legs out. Okay, amazing work. Let's get a little bit more into your, a little bit more stretchy now that we're nice and warm. So bend that right knee, go ahead and pull the right foot in and step it by your hips, okay? You can use your legs, use your arms to squeeze that leg in. And as you squeeze it in, do your best to sit up nice and tall. I don't know about you, but I tend to kind of slouch when I hug my knee. So I have to remind myself, sit up tall. And start to look over the right shoulder. And do it like some sort of with a regal demeanor. You're lifting your chin, you're lengthening the back of your neck as you look over your shoulder. So the spine is as long as it can be. And so if this is enough twist for you, just stay here. If you want more, put your right fingers behind you. Okay. Push down, make yourself a little bit taller, and keep looking over that right shoulder. Remember to breathe deeply in your twist. Now, if you're happy here, please stay here. If you want a little more twist, you can take the left elbow outside the right knee and really use that to lengthen your spine. But promise me, if you go deeper into the posture, the breath becomes deeper too. So we need a deep breath, no shallow, fast breathing. We want slow and calm. All right, twist should feel nice on your back. As you're ready, you can untwist yourself, okay, facing back toward that left foot, and you can just knock the right knee to the ground. And we'll start to fold and kind of round over the left leg. So you can bend the left knee if you like. Sometimes that makes it easier to kind of fold over the leg. So please feel free to bend it as much as you want at any time. But just start to drape your spine over your left leg. Okay, and we'll just take some time breathing here. And I just want to encourage you to let go of expectations you may have about how far you want to fold and what that should look like. And just make sure it feels good. There's really no goal. There's no destination with this posture. You're already there. So think of, even as you allow the spine to drape, think about lengthening your heart towards your left foot. With every breath, draw the heart a little closer to your left foot. And then once you're quite settled in, try something that I like to do here. Okay, you've had a few breaths here, your body and your mind are coordinated about what we're doing. Try this. Every time you exhale, kick slightly down into both of your legs, as if you're trying to push the floor away from you with your legs. Activating those legs just a little bit can offer so much more release than if we are working passively. Isn't that fascinating? You can release your head if you like, but please keep your neck nice and long. It should be a really nice feeling all across the back of your body, from your neck down across your tailbone to the back of your left foot. And take your time. There's no rush. Walking yourself out with your hands. Just taking your time. Okay, from here, I want to kind of flip this up and over. So drop your right hand just a little bit back behind you. And use what you have on the floor here to press up to a little supported side plank. So at first, you may need to move the right knee and put it under your right hip. But once you get there and you're quite supported with the right hand and the right hip, it should feel more comfortable. So feel free to take that time, settle in, and then allow that left side to stretch open as you reach the left hand over your head. And hold and breathe here. Okay, remind yourself to actively push the floor away with that right side. As you allow the left side to expand, keep the neck long. Just take several more breaths into all the space on the left side. The ribs, the armpit. Now you can decide to look up, you can decide to look down, wherever looks natural. Okay, one of my favorite stretches. Maybe one more big breath in here, reaching a little further. And let's bring it down just the way we came in. Go ahead and sit it down with that right leg bent. From here, we'll just switch sides. So now the right leg will be the long one. The left leg will be the bent one. Okay, nice little seat. We'll twist from here. So hug your left leg, hug it tight, squeeze it into your chest. Okay, and just that in itself is a really nice hip opener. So enjoy that. I like to give that a couple breaths to settle in. And then start to lengthen that spine, lift the top of your head, and look over the left shoulder. Okay, a very regal look. Lift your head from the back and the front. Now this might be enough. Okay, you may deepen your twist with the left fingers behind you. Get a little taller. Okay, you may deepen the twist even more with the right elbow outside the left knee. So you just decide how far you want to go. I'm just going to always offer you a palette. Okay, remember, in your twist, your spine needs to be long. That's our priority, long spine. And we need the breath to be deep to reap the full benefits here. A few more deep breaths. Close your eyes, maybe. Okay, as you're ready, start to untwist yourself. Okay, and then just push that left knee to the floor. And we'll start to turn this into a fold. So keep in mind, something that makes a fold so much more approachable for just about anyone is just picking up the right knee here. It's so easy to fold over the leg that way. So please use that to your advantage, okay? Start to drape your body over that right leg. Allow the spine to line up with your leg bones, okay? And bend the knee to make it as easy as you like. Okay, and then give yourself time to settle in. Sometimes we need about 30 seconds just to get the brain and the body coordinated. But once you're there, turn on some activation. Get involved in the posture. Gently press the floor down with your legs. Okay, you can activate that right quadriceps, the top of the right thigh, to help out the right hamstring here. And even though your spine is rounding, do your best to lengthen the heart towards your right foot. And just breathe. Remember that even if you forget what you're supposed to be doing here, you can always just find a really good stretch, something that feels good in your body, and just stay there. That's where you're supposed to be. Maybe one more nice slow breath here, releasing any tension that remains across the back body. It's melting away right here. There's no rush, but take your time rolling yourself up out of this. Come on up. Okay, and we'll take that same little side stretch on this side, that supported side plank. So drop your left hand somewhere out behind you. Okay, use what you have on the floor. Press up to a supported side plank. Okay, if I was you, I'd probably rearrange that left knee and put it under the left hip. It just makes it a lot nicer and more relaxing to be here if you have support from the hand and the knee. And then start to reach that right hand over and to the left. And just breathe. You can close your eyes. Gently push the floor down as you stretch open the right side. Okay, it feels really nice. Take some big breath here, stretching open the right side of the chest and the armpit. If you are right-handed like me, you store a lot of tension in this side, so this side might be the more spicy one. Or not, you're always noticing little things like that in your body. It's good information to have. Okay, it's hard to say goodbye to this pose, but let's make our way out. Come on out. You could come back to a seat just where you were before with the left leg bent. From here, you can lean back on your hands, extend your legs, and give it a little shake out. Just a little windshield wiper moment here. Hopefully noticing some great spaciousness in the sides, the back. Okay, let's point the knees up and then see if you could challenge yourself here, okay? Make kind of a boat pose shape by either grabbing behind your knees or reaching past your knees. You decide, okay? And see if you could roll yourself really slowly down, okay? One vertebra at a time. Little bit of a challenge. And you know what? If it doesn't work like you planned, that's okay. Keep breathing though. Okay, take as long as you can. Find that control. And then once your head and your shoulders come down, you can bring your knees in for a hug. Give yourself the nice little squeeze, pressing your low back onto the floor, roll it out. And then maybe we do opposite knee circles, circling out the knees, kind of stirring your hip joint, giving it a final massage. And let's rewind that knee circle. Okay, from here, release your legs. We're going to extend them nice and long and soft on the floor. And arms too. Let them rest by your side. And close your eyes if they're not already closed. It's time to rest. You did it. This is the culmination of all of our yoga practice where we find stillness again. And now the practice is at the beginning of this yoga session, we kind of harnessed the breath, we harnessed the movements of the body, very skillful, very intentional. But now we'll back away, we'll begin to let go. We'll go in reverse. So start to let go of all control of your body and just let yourself be. Allow your arms and legs and your face to be as soft as a sleeping baby's. Nothing to do. Noticing the moment as it unfolds. Allow your breath to do the same. Okay? Let go of harnessing the inhale and exhale. Let go. Just let the breath be natural, like a baby. And rest here in this moment, just being, breathing, noticing what is. You might notice your thoughts, and that's good. Notice the thoughts like birds or butterflies with fascination. And let your attention come back to your breath, noticing what is. It's so good to practice being present in this way. Hopefully you find that it gives you a sense of harmony, a peaceful place. This is always available to you. It's underneath everything you do. Just being with what is. Feel anything unnecessary, any tension has already drained out of your body long ago. Feeling easy and free. So please keep resting just like this for as long as you can. The longer the better. If you could take a nap, that would be the best. But this is where I'll leave you today. Thanks so much for joining me.